Good morning. My name is Derek, and welcome to another episode of The Journey. This week, we're going to talk about the game of life. And life really is a game. And the greatest influencer that ever walked planet Earth, Jesus of Nazareth, says that it's a great game of giving and receiving. But we've been taught, brainwashed, and conditioned to believe that it is a game of giving and taking. So I'm going to read to you from the dictionary the definition of taking. Take, to get into one's hands, possession, control by force or artifice. Now, that's taking. Now, that's taking. But if we receive, we're getting something that's being given to us. We don't have to get possession of it by force. It's being freely given. And that's how this game really works. It's just giving and receiving. And the more you give, the more you receive. But I gotta be honest with you folks, it was a long time before I learned the rules to the game. I didn't know. I never heard of the rules to the game of life. And subsequently, as I started learning these rules, a little here and a little there, eventually I codified them in a book very simply for simple people like myself. Because once again, I'm not college educated. I don't have a vast vocabulary. So as I personally was learning these rules, it took me a long time to really grasp them because I had to get a dictionary, I had to define words because the people that had written the rules to the game, they were writing in college language, and I'm just not there. I can be honest about that. I'm not there yet. So, I codified these things for simple people like myself in a book called Universal Law. Now, I tell you, it's the rules to the game, but let me really clarify that. Everything in the universe is governed by law. And we know that on a human level because in our physical world, we're governed by laws. So the universe has to be governed by laws. But I had no concept of that. I had no knowledge of that. I never even thought about it. So what I've decided to do with people like myself that are just unaware for the next few weeks, we're going to learn the laws. And we're going to learn them real simple from the book that I've written. And it'll be so simplistic that everybody can get it. But today, I'm just going to give you an overview of what the laws are. These are the laws that govern life and the universe. And once we learn these laws and put these laws into practical application in our lives, whatever we're seeking has to become a reality. It's no other way it cannot be. And it's been proven time and time and again for over 2,000 years. And the first law is the law of thinking. And who would ever thought that was a law, the law of thinking? But as I've learned over the years, as I've started on my path of personal development, a lot of people don't think. We have a lot of mind activity, but we don't think. So we have the law of thinking, the law of supply, the law of attraction, the law of receiving, the law of increase, the law of compensation, the law of non-resistance, the law of forgiveness, the law of sacrifice, the law of obedience, And last but not least, the law of success. And what I found, to my great joy, that as I've learned these laws and studied these laws and put these laws into practical application in my life, which is another way of saying I put them to the test. You know, I heard this stuff, but can you really believe this? These laws and the ones that I just read, if a person puts them into practical application in their life, pretty much they're guaranteed success. I said, man, I gotta find out for myself. And that's what I've been doing for the past 40 years without knowing it. But the last 12 years, I've been doing this consciously. It's been on a conscious level, and I've had to make, and still making, a persistent daily effort to remember the laws, to practice the laws, and it's not easy. See, this stuff is not for the faint of heart. People that don't have courage don't step up to this plate, because these laws are hard. And I'm going to tell you another truth. If you're afraid, if you don't have courage, and you're really not willing to put in the time, don't learn them. Because once you learn them, there is no going back. Once you learn and understand these laws, they become applicable in your life, and then you're responsible. You're totally responsible. It's like when I was a child and I would get into trouble. And I'll give you this one for instance that I remember clearly. Man, I was real young. I was about 6 or 7. And my parents bought me a bicycle. And so I would ride my bicycle out of the yard into the street. And one day my mother was standing on the porch. And she saw me ride my bicycle really fast out of the yard into the street. And of course, I'm young. I'm not looking to see for cars or anything. And my mom yelled, "Come here, boy." And she says, "Look, don't ride your bicycle out of the yard into the street anymore. If you do, there's going to be problems. I'm going to whoop you behind." So, before my mother counseled me and told me the result of my actions, I wasn't responsible. There were no consequences. But once she told me, I knew I was responsible. So the next time I rode my bicycle from the yard out to the street, the first thing I did was look back on the porch to see if mom was there. Now you get what I'm saying? See, once we know something, then we become responsible for that knowledge. And that's what it is with the universal law. We become responsible for that knowledge once we learn it. So, the upside is, once we learn it and we really practice it and we really get vigilant about integrating this into our life, it doesn't matter what we're seeking. If we practice and practice and practice and practice and practice and put these into real life application, whatever it is we dream of, we desire, we want to be, and we want to have, has to happen. So, starting next week, we're going to read through and get an understanding of each law once a week. One law per week. And that'll take 11 weeks. So we have plenty of time, and we have time to digest it and really get familiar with what it is that can help us become whatever we want to become, have whatever we want to have, or do whatever we want to do. So, thank you again for sharing this time with me on the journey. And my name is Derek. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. This channel is not going to appeal to everybody, and that's okay. It's not supposed to. But the people that find this information interesting, subscribe. Keep coming back. We're all going to learn and grow and move forward on our individual journeys. I believe that this information can help anyone. So, all are welcome. Subscribe. Keep coming back. You guys have a good day. Unless you made plans to have a bad day.